If an exchange-traded fund were to be built from obscure aviation stocks, what would those stocks be? Such an ETF would be made up of the unsung heroes of the sky from the past and present. Companies that invigorate flight but don't enjoy the spotlight, given to more flashy flyers from airline, defense aerospace, and next-generation electric aircraft operators. Surf Air Mobility is one such example. It's a regional air mobility platform focused on both air mobility services and air technology development. It provides scheduled flights and on-demand charter services in the U.S. and globally, while also advancing electrification and aviation software technologies to enable greener regional air mobility. Surf Air's legacy network and the 2023 acquisition of Southern Airways expanded its regional airline reach, now serving cities across the U.S., including Hawaii, through Southern Airways and Mokulele Airlines. In order to scale green regional aviation by commercializing electrified aircraft that can reduce operating costs and emissions for regional flights, Surf envisions regional air mobility, displacing car travel for trips between 100 and 500 miles, mainly by using a dense network of regional aircraft to serve America's 5,000 public-use airports. And since Surf serves over 370,000 passengers annually, it's one of the largest commuter airlines in the U.S. On the technical side, Surf collaborates with Textron Aviation, Electra, and Regent to develop hybrid and electric aircraft, and has a partnership with Palantir Technologies to develop Surf OS, an AI-enhanced software operating system designed to optimize operations like crew scheduling, maintenance, and flight tracking. Surf generates revenue through two primary channels: scheduled air services, including public seat sales and membership subscriptions, and on-demand charter flights. It also receives Essential Air Service awards from the U.S. Department of Transportation. Surf Air's model, using small aircraft and operating under Part 135 regulations, helps address the pilot shortage by accelerating the development of new pilots. Then, to transition to fully electric flights more quickly, it's pursuing supplemental type certificates for electrified powertrain technology, particularly for the Cessna Grand Caravan, helping it reach its long-term goal to lead the regional air mobility transformation, with the global market expected to reach $75 to $115 billion by 2035. That means Surf's scale, experience, and technology could also make it an attractive acquisition for the multitude of emerging and established aerospace companies vying for their share of the electrified and regional air mobility pie. A real possibility, as demonstrated by the earlier acquisition of Blade Air Mobility's passenger segment by Joby Aviation. Along the same lines, EVE Air Mobility is gearing up to rise within the urban air mobility UAM market. It's focused on developing a comprehensive solution for the growing electric vertical takeoff and landing (eVTOL) market. This involves developing urban air traffic management (UATM) systems such as Vector, and offering service support through a platform called TechCare, helping to strengthen its operations that span Melbourne, Florida, and Brazil. It's also working on its own eVTOL for UAM that's expected to launch in 2027. Currently, EVE has over 2,800 vehicles in a non-binding order pipeline, valued at $14 billion from prominent launch customers like United Airlines and Republic Airways. EVE's eVTOL features a lift plus cruise design, with 8 rotors for vertical lift and a separate forward propulsion system for efficient cruising. This configuration is intended to optimize safety, reduce maintenance costs, and deliver a quieter, low-emission alternative to traditional helicopters. EVE's eVTOL will initially operate with a pilot, but aims to transition to autonomous flight as air traffic management systems mature. For extra lift, its partnership with Embraer provides access to certification expertise, manufacturing support, and technology resources. The UAM market is driven by urbanization, traffic congestion, advances in autonomous mobility, and a push for reduced carbon emissions. UAM services promise to reduce commute times, alleviate traffic, and offer more sustainable transportation options. EVE's business model positions it to serve a broad customer base, including fixed-wing operators, helicopter companies, and ride-sharing platforms. To accelerate development, EVE has built an extensive network of partners spanning technology, infrastructure, renewable energy, and financing sectors. To keep up with high R&D expenses, EVE raised $230 million from an equity placement in August, which included anchor investors like Brazil's BNDES and Embraer, adding to crucial funding to keep development programs fueled through 2027. On top of that, EVE signed a landmark agreement with the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunications of Bahrain to advance eVTOL operations in the Middle East. This partnership focuses on developing vertiport infrastructure and regulatory frameworks to support commercial operations by 2028. Likewise, EVE's collaboration with Invest SP in Brazil is advancing eVTOL regulation, infrastructure, and workforce training, with production set to begin at a new facility in Taubaté. Then behind hangar doors, StandardAero has been servicing engines for over 100 years, offering crucial yet often overlooked services like scheduled and unscheduled engine maintenance, repair and overhaul, component repair, on-wing support, asset management, and engineering services. With a diverse client base spanning commercial, military, and business aviation, StandardAero's revenue is primarily driven by long-term contractual agreements with original equipment manufacturers, OEMs, like GE Aerospace, Pratt & Whitney, Rolls-Royce, and Honeywell, as well as airlines such as American Airlines and Southwest Airlines. StandardAero holds licenses from over 40 key engine platforms, granting it preferred access to OEM parts, warranty support, and marketing rights. This has helped the company maintain strong, long-term relationships with around 5,000 global clients. Its growth strategy continues to rely on successful platform captures and acquisitions. Since 2016, StandardAero has added 8 new engine programs and developed over 2,500 new component repairs. It has also made 11 acquisitions since 2017, expanding its capabilities and global reach. Powered by a 7,500-strong workforce across 49 facilities worldwide. Though one thing to consider is consolidation that tends to take place with all things aviation-related, resulting in dependence on a few major customers, with the top 4 OEMs contributing about 41% of its revenue in 2024. Losing any of these key relationships, or facing a downturn in defense or commercial aviation, could negatively impact StandardAero's performance. Furthermore, supply chain delays and inflation have raised the cost of labor, materials, and utilities, posing additional challenges. Nonetheless, StandardAero keeps flying with its growth strategy that's expanding its capacity for high-demand platforms like the CFM56 and LEAP engines, leveraging its component repair capabilities and securing new engine programs. To capture market share in the growing aerospace engine aftermarket, it'll continue to diversify its revenue streams, securing more OEM authorizations and pursuing further acquisitions. Another growing market to consider is forest fire management, which Bridger Aerospace is quenching with aerial wildfire suppression, surveillance, and support services across the U.S. In order to protect lives, property, and ecosystems from wildfires, Bridger uses specialized aircraft and cutting-edge technology, most prominently demonstrated by fire suppression with its fleet of Super Scooper aircraft, real-time aerial surveillance, and maintenance and repair solutions for governmental and commercial clients. Forming the backbone of Bridger's operations are its Super Scooper aircraft, namely 6 Viking CL415 EAF Super Scoopers. These aircraft can scoop up to 1,412 gallons of water every 12 seconds and drop 50,000 gallons before needing to refuel. Bridger's fleet also includes Daher Kodiaks, Pilatus PC-12s, and Twin Commanders, allowing for firefighting in diverse terrains and challenging conditions. These aircraft operate from 3 hangars at Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport in Montana. The increasing frequency and intensity of wildfires have led to growing demand for aerial firefighting services. Bridger is well positioned to meet this demand with long-term contracts with U.S. federal and state agencies, including the U.S. Forest Service, USFS, and state fire departments. It benefits from a high contract renewal rate and has expanded its fleet to meet the rising need for fire suppression and surveillance. In anticipation of this rising heat, Bridger already acquired Ignis technologies to enhance fire monitoring capabilities, such as a mobile app for real-time firefighter situational awareness. Aside from technological acquisitions like that, Bridger's growth plans are set on expanding its aircraft fleet and exploring international markets, namely Europe, Asia, and South America, where it will offer aerial firefighting services to replace aging government-owned fleets. Domestically, its fleet and technology have a stellar, rapid response record to wildfires. For example, at the start of the year, its Super Scoopers rose early to combat wildfires in California, marking a record early mobilization. Additionally, Bridger has secured several significant contracts, including a $20.1 million deal with the U.S. Department of the Interior to support fire and resource management in Alaska. As a result, revenue increased by 51% in the past year, with continued growth expected, driven by expanding its fleet, technology investments, and increasing government reliance on private firefighting services. Bridger also recently secured a $46 million sale-leaseback agreement to reduce debt and strengthen its financial position and further its role in combating the growing wildfire threat. Intense stuff. Now, what do you have to say about these flying firms? Comment below, and for more on stocks and crypto, follow Ascencore. See you next time.